Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Hangout with ST. She's Alyssa.
And he's Hairianto. And Hangout with ST is a weekly show where we bring you top stories of the week.
That's right, anything that is local to everything that's happening
around the world.
And this is episode
53. We celebrated our anniversary almost said last year. last week. Last week,
1 year anniversary.
No
right?
frills, I have to say. And then we didn't have to wait for the second anniversary for the second table to appear.
Exactly.
I got my own table.
But really, I feel that with this table now, it's very legit.
It is, especially for you because you have an iPad stand or very profesh.
Okay, so I think you need to get a.
I do. I would like to be sponsored, please.
Correct. So anybody out there,
can sponsor me
an
iPad or a Samsung tablet or like the Samsung foldable phone. I'm not picky.
Anything that is a tablet that can help you.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And in any case, of course, we are coming to you live from the Straits Times newsroom. So do leave your comments in the comment section below.
And you were saying that we already come from the ST newsroom, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so usually that's my line, so I'll just,
I'm so sorry.
Just wait for you. Okay, no problem. Yeah. Okay.
Because if not, that'd be very awkward, right?
True. But now it's even more awkward. Okay, never mind. Okay.
Okay, you can talk about, everybody who's been tuning into us.
Which is usually your line.
Yeah.
So for those who's been tuning in, thank you so much for showing your love and support.
Yes, correct. And this week, Alyssa, we will be discussing the Trump-Kim summit, of course, which, didn't end up too well.
I mean, it was a sequel, and hopefully the trilogy will end much, the final part of the trilogy will end better.
Yeah.
And then also we'll talk about suicide prevention and also what people can do for friends and family who are affected by mental health or who have mental health issues.
And also teens' online gripe that sparked debate.
About a grad trip, no less. Of all things to be unhappy about.
Exactly.
You're unhappy about a grad trip, but we'll get to that later.
Exactly. And then, of course, we move on to other news in a minute, or Onyam, before we run out with Facebook Face Off.
Which I've been waiting 3 weeks in a row.
I think it's really the year of the horse.
It really is the year of the horse.
Right.
It is, yeah.
Good for you. Okay, let's say hi to people.
Okay, first let me log in. I say this every other week.
Always.
You're already in, is it?
I'm ready. Lok Richard says, hi. Hello to you, Lok Richard. Milan says, hello from Nepal. Hello. Shuhari, watching from Nepal.
Of course, Miles Casby. Yes, Miles Casby. We see you week after week. So nice to see you. Good evening from Australia. Good evening to you too.
From Maldives, Collins Wu. Hello. Collins, wait.
Collins always is a traveller, I have to say. Collins is a frequent traveller.
Yeah, and then we have somebody all the way from Lebanon. Rain Sunday.
Just say hello here.
Yeah, me too.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
From Singapore.
From the Straits Times,
From the Straits Times.
Yeah, so remember to let all your friends and family members know that we are actually online right now. Yeah. So Alyssa, the second Trump-Kim summit held in Hanoi, Vietnam, ended without an agreement between the two leaders. The second day of the talks on North Korean's nuclear program was abruptly cut short by 2 hours.
However, Mr. Trump did say that he had a productive time discussing with Mr. Kim Jong-un about the North's denuclearization, but they had failed to reach an agreement due to the North's demand that the US-led sanctions on Pyongyang be lifted.
Yep. North Korea wanted the sanctions lifted in their entirety, but US couldn't do that. Mr. Trump said at a press conference that the US had to walk away from negotiations.
We do have a soundbite of him saying walk away.
He's quite a guy and quite a character, and I think our relationship is very strong. But at this time, we had some options, and at this time we decided not to do any of the options, and we'll see where that goes. But it was a very interesting 2 days, and I think actually it was a very productive 2 days, but sometimes you have to walk, and this was just one of those times.
There you have it. Now, despite the failure to produce an agreement, the talks had ended amicably, added Mr. Trump. The relationship was warm, and when we walked away, it was a friendly walk.
At least it wasn't like a moonwalk or like an angry walk. I mean, of all things to describe it, it's a friendly walk.
Exactly, right? Now, United States Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said both sides would continue to work on what they had discussed during the Hanoi meetings.
So we have our colleague, South Korea correspondent Chang Mei-chun, and also the China Bureau Chief Tan Don-wei in Hanoi. So earlier, they spoke with locals and who shared that they had hopes for the Trump-Kim talks.
First in Singapore, now in Hanoi. It's the eve of the second summit between US President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. But it's been raining down in Hanoi, even as thousands of journalists, diplomats, and the two leaders themselves arrive in Vietnam's capital. Still, things are going to get very interesting and very intense in Summit City over the next few days. Not least for these journalists who are now streaming in to this international media center right behind me, in the heart of Hanoi. For the 7.5 million people of Hanoi, life over the next few days will hardly be normal.
Cái hội nghị này thì diễn ra ở cái khách sạn Marriott và chúng tôi có làm một cái panel về sự gặp gỡ của ông Kim và ông Trump. Thì mặc dù cái nhà hàng bị đóng cửa nhưng mà chúng tôi rất là hoan nghênh về việc đấy vì là cho một nền hòa bình của một nền hòa bình bền vững và một nền hòa bình cho cả thế giới.
The city is on high alert. Tens of thousands of policemen and soldiers, including elite forces, have been deployed to all parts of the city, and roads shut to traffic.
Now, on the ground, Hanoi rose to the occasion for Trump-Kim 2.0,
They
right?
did, indeed.
Vietnam is, of course, no stranger to hosting high-key events, and security was on an all-time high for this summit.
Having said that, they definitely know to have some hair-raising fun. For example, I'm punny right there. I intend my puns. I'm not sorry for my puns. Okay, so talking about hairstyles, right? So they were offering free haircuts.
Yeah, free, right?
If you ever wanted to look like Donald Trump or Mr. Kim Jong-un, you can get it done for free because I think no one's going to pay for it, right?
Yeah, so the Tuan Duong Beauty Academy is running the promotion all the way till today, February 28. Now, according to the salon owner, Lee Tuan Duong, he was doing it for fun only but was surprised at how people have responded. So, for example, there was a 9-year-old, right? Teo Gia Hei, whose hair was molded to perfectly match the slick back top and shaved sides of Kim's unique coiffure.
He's really cute, huh? You know, even his glasses, he's really adorable. And then he was happy with his haircut, although none of his schoolmates thought that he wouldn't be able to pull off the look.
Yeah, and then Hui said, "No one in my class is as fat as me."
But you know, usually kids like that, when they're chubby, right? When they're young and chubby, they grow up to be very handsome.
Really?
Yeah, I believe that all that chubbiness, the body uses it, and they grow into super tall, super hunky.
I was a chubby kid, actually.
Lol, right.
Oh, there we have it.
Okay.
Now, apart from haircuts, of course, there were bars in Hanoi cashing in on the high-stake diplomacy, right? With making their own special concoctions as well.
So nothing that crazy. I mean, it was similar to what happened when the Trump-Kim summit was here in Singapore. So there were drinks like Kim Jong Ale. So lots of puns here. Prepare, hold on to your chest.
Yep.
Rocket Man, based on the Rocket Man argument they were having. And Peace Negotiations.
Now, the Kim Jong Ale is a beer that has a hot and spicy flavor with a soft and fresh aftertaste.
And then Rocket Man has, if you want to make this at home, it has soju, bourbon, fireball, cinnamon whiskey, along with pineapple juice, vanilla, and grenadine.
And then the Peace Negotiations is a summit-inspired take on the classic Negroni cocktail made with pink grapefruit flavoured soju, vermouth, and a drop of Angostura bitters.
So there you have it, recipes for your own Trump-Kim summit drinks.
Exactly. Now, while Hanoi has pulled out all the stops for the highly anticipated summit, now that it has been suddenly cut short, it has cast doubts on the direction of future talks on North Korea's nuclear program.
We never know what's going to happen, right? So hopefully the next one will work out.
Exactly, right? And just stay tuned to straitstimes.com for any further developments. Let's see, we can say hi to people.
We'll take some comments.
Yeah. Oh, Collins Wu says, "Hello, Alyssa."
Hello.
You have a fan. Carita Fisher, watching from Mars.
Nice. Okay. And then I did see someone liking my moonwalk pun.
Yeah, Nurul Ain, that's our BH colleague. Moonwalk.
I see.
Ajay Shes, so now Kim and Trump will find another place to meet and discuss again, possibly. Elizabeth Kelly, productive with no agreement.
Well, we don't really know what happened in the room. Right.
John says, negotiating in Asia is never easy. Trump succeeded in making North Korea feel much more secure. Walking away is a strong signal in negotiations, and talks will continue in other ways and forms.
Negotiation 101.
Yeah, that's right. And Kai Gui says, hi guys.
Hello,
Familiar
Kai
name as well,
Gui.
right?
Hello.
Yeah. So continue to, just say hi to us. And then, yeah, weigh in on whether you have any opinions about the free haircut.
Yeah.
Or the drinks. If you have tried them as well, let us know. Right? Yeah. Now, for our next segment, of course, the topic may not be something new, but should nonetheless be discussed. I think it's time, right, Alyssa, we break down the taboo walls surrounding it and acknowledge that as a society, as people, we can have more empathy and do more to help. It starts with opening up and talking about it.
So now, if you're wondering what we're talking about, so over the weekend there was a story on breaking the silence on suicide. This was written by our colleague. It was published, and it's about a mother who opened about the loss of her teenage son to suicide due to depression. So just a note, we're going to play a clip, and some viewers may find the contents a bit distressing.
September 27, I arrived in Melbourne to see my son Zen. As usual, he was very loving and very happy to see me. So after dinner, he said, Mom, I'm going to go to the gym with my friends. I said, okay, sure, I'll see you tomorrow. At 1:30 in the morning, I was woken up by a call from his accommodation manager to say that you got to come now. Zen has taken his own life. This is his hockey stick. He's really good at sports, all kinds of sports, and he can just pick it up very quickly. We brought all his skateboard back from Melbourne. I know this is his favorite. He says skateboarding makes him very happy, and this is how he moves around in Melbourne. And he loves fashion just like me, and we have this shared passion for fashion and shopping. In fact, he did ask me if he doesn't want to be a psychologist. He was thinking of to be in fashion merchandising, just like I used to do. Yeah. After, I think, 2 weeks after Zen's passing, I joined a support group. This support group is for child loss. In one of the sessions, I realized that at least half of mothers are also suicide survivors like myself, and this really helped me because it makes me realize that I'm not alone. It's not just the grief, but also the guilt and the trauma that comes with it. Mothers who have gone through the same type of loss as me, we are able to resonate with each other.
Now for the full video and of course the story, head on to straitstimes.com. In Parliament earlier this month, there were also moves to decriminalise attempted suicide in the Criminal Law Reform Bill, which some say could remove some of the stigma.
So those opposed to the move say that criminalization could deter people from taking their own lives. And to share more about suicide prevention and also what we can do, what people can do to help those affected friends and family, we have here with us next to my left Dr. Thomas Lee, who is the consultant psychiatrist and medical director.
And on my right, of course, we have Dr. Jessie Chua, senior clinical psychologist. Both are from Resilience Clinic. Thank you so much, doctors, for being here with us to, just have a chat with us. And yeah, maybe as to kickstart things off first. Maybe we'll start with people always wonder, right? Is there a difference between a psychiatrist and a psychologist? Maybe we'll start with Dr. Lee or Dr. Chua.
Yeah, we're often asked this question. So a psychiatrist is basically a medical doctor who has to go through years of rigorous medical training that involves treatment of all kinds of medical conditions. But being a psychiatrist, we specialize in mental health conditions, and we can prescribe medication to treat such conditions.
What about yourself, Dr. Chua, your field of work?
Right, so for me, I'm a clinical psychologist. So in my line of work, I work, well, fortunately, I get to work with Dr. Lee. So a lot of times we work together. So our work complement each other. So he does a lot of the assessment, the diagnosis assessment, and then for me on my end, if there is, let's say the person doesn't need medication, I'll see the the patient in long-term in psychotherapy, basically,
right?
To support long-term recovery.
So the work that you both do are complementary, like
yes.
Yeah. Now again, for those of you who have just recently joined us right here, we have in the house Dr. Lee as well as Dr. Chua from Resilience Clinic to tell us more about mental health issues, mental health. And of course, suicide prevention, right? And if you have any questions at all, just write them in the comments section, and we'll get our two doctors to answer them.
And if you're wondering why we're doing this, it's because we feel like it's important to talk about it, because as Yan and I were discussing this topic, we realized that, well, I don't really know what to say when I know someone who actually, how do I even tell if someone has depression, right? That's one. Second, what is depression? So there were so many questions, so we'll be asking them to these two doctors today, and then hopefully it'll just kickstart a conversation, you know, into just raising awareness.
And on that note, so Alyssa mentioned, what is depression, right? What is the clinical definition of depression?
Now, depression is basically a disorder of the mood. Well, it's actually a medical illness. It's a medical illness that affects how you feel, the way you think, and how you act. And being a depression, it perpetuates and it causes a persistent feeling of sadness and a loss of interest in a lot of things. We do a clinical assessment to actually differentiate the kind of depression. There are various kinds of depression. Of course, the most serious one is what we call a major depressive disorder. But we go through quite a comprehensive assessment to be able to differentiate the different types of depression.
So you were saying, because we were talking about this earlier, so you were saying there are different types of depression. So one of it happens after a particular traumatic episode, is it? And then another one, is it more of like a genetic or hereditary issue?
There are various reasons why a person develops depression, and genetic is certainly one of them. We look through the family history, and certainly if someone in the family history has a lot genetic loading, this family history of depression is quite likely you have a higher risk. So we actually look out for that in terms of treatment-wise. It informs us how much and what kind of treatment we can give to this person.
And Dr. Choi, earlier on we talked about the work that you do. So in your study, you look at seeking help behavior, how people seek help and all that. If you could just share with us what are people's attitude towards mental health issues?
I think at least in the Asian culture, I think for us, when we think about mental health, sometimes we think of it as like, oh, someone's crazy, there's something wrong, is there something, or like when someone tells you they're going through something and you go, are you okay, do you need to see somebody, but in a very sarcastic, not very serious manner, kind of implying that, I think there's something wrong with you, so that it's not a very, most of the time it's a very negative kind of attitude that people have towards mental health. And I think at least for Dr. Lee, I think the most difficult thing for you would be denial, right?
Because denial is like so common, and someone can just say that I don't have depression when it's so clearly this person is having some kind of depression, but this person just does not accept it, and think that he can or she can,
snap
out of it.
On that note, so you talked about being denial, and clearly this person exhibits signs of depression. What are some of the things to look out for somebody who could possibly be depressed or have some kind of mental health problems? What are some of the signs that they exhibit?
Like most, in fact, most mental health conditions, depression included, one important thing to look out for is a change in the behavior, right? Change in a person's way of dealing or relating to others, and certainly if there is some disruption to the person's function, like at work, in the school, or in relationship with friends, that is a stark change. You might want to think about if this person is suffering from depression or some other mental health conditions.
Or even something so simple as they're not eating, or they're eating more than usual, or they're not sleeping, or they're sleeping more than usual. So simple things like that we could also tell might be a warning sign basically for something going on.
So when we do see these signs in maybe friends or family, then what what should we do, or what can we do then?
Yeah.
You want? Okay. So, if family members start to encounter, your kids, your partner, or even people around you, and you start noticing, the signs that we were talking about, I think the first thing to do and always to do is to be there for them, support them. If they tell you something that they're going through and they're struggling, validate that. Don't say things like, "Oh, it's okay," it will pass. But I think to show them that hey, I'm here for you. Let's do this together, and continue to tell them that, hey, maybe we need to go talk to someone. But in a way where it's more like supportive. You don't force them. I think that would be important.
Again, for those of you who have just recently joined us right here, we are here with, of course, psychiatrist Dr. Lee, as well as psychologist Dr. Chua, to talk about depression, mental health issues, and really suicide prevention. And really, right here, we want to break down the walls and talk about it, and then kickstart this conversation, because we want to reach out to people. If you know of anyone who might have or need help at all, don't be afraid to reach out. And then there are help around. And again, like what Dr. Chua mentioned, don't take it lightly, right? Be a listening ear. And I think earlier on,
I do want to kickstart it. So we are talking about let's not be afraid about it. So I'm going to take the first step, and I'm going to just share. I wasn't clinically diagnosed as depressed. Okay, my parents are watching, please don't be so concerned. Just because when I suffer from thyroid, the mood is affected as well. So I think for a period of time, I was getting some of these symptoms, but I wasn't sure. And I didn't know until I did more research, and I was feeling better. But anyway, I was just getting a bit sick, and then the doctor was like, you're actually not sick. You're just your body it's just manifesting into this because it's something wrong. Then I was like, work is fine. I'm okay with friends. I got no stress. And she was like, yeah, but is there anything you'll talk about? Then I suddenly broke down crying, in the GP clinic. Then she was like, okay, I've got some medicine. Maybe it'll help you feel better. So I took it. Then okay, everything was fine. But that's not the medicine thing I'll talk about. But it was bringing it up with other people who I thought I could trust and be vulnerable. Then the reaction was, suddenly they're walking around like eggshells. But I feel but I'm not I think I'm fine. Day to day, still functioning okay. So
on that note, Dr. Chua, Dr. Lee, what do we say or what do we not say? I think oftentimes, it's easy, to say, hey, don't be awkward around people. It's easy to say that, but I guess again, because this is something that we don't talk about, how do we behave? Is there a certain way to behave, as it were, or things to say?
I think importantly, one shouldn't be judgmental. You need to show some concern and to kind of understand, show empathy. Not right away jump to a conclusion that this person is different. So I think for the start, anyone who's approaching someone who may be having some mental health challenges to approach this way. And certainly to avoid words that they are negative and criticize the person.
And I think also to remember that mental health issues can strike anyone. It can strike me, it can strike Dr. it can strike anybody. So it's really like it's like if you're sick, you're sick and you go get help. It's not something that's you have to be so afraid of it, and you don't dare to talk about it. It's really very common, to be honest.
And Dr. Shah, on that note, right, you mentioned if you're sick, go see a doctor. Maybe sometimes people don't know what to expect when they see you, right? Like for example, if I have a cold, I know, okay, I'm going to see the doctor, I'm going to tell them that I have a cold, they will give me Piriton or whichever. But maybe, with some mental... I'm pretty sure you get this question a lot. Do I have to lie down on the couch? Right? Maybe if you can, right? Yeah. Maybe if you can share. Maybe you can share with us. What people can expect. What are some of the treatments that you've done?
I think to be honest, coming to see Dr. Lee or coming to see myself is just like going to any doctor. You have a concern. It's like just going to a specialized, a specialist basically, to talk about your problem. I mean, you guys talking to us, you know, we're not scary people.
Exactly.
They're very normal, they're real people, they're not aliens.
So, you know, it's really, I think what's tricky is that it's because of the media, like what we see on TV, like, oh, you know, there's a couch, or like the doctor's wearing a you know, white coat,
or the
clipboard.
look like Hannibal Lecter.
Not like that.
So I think that's something that is very tricky in people's mind when they think about therapy. But okay, so if we talk about like treatment in my work, we do when I work differently. So in one particular approach, you know, we look at how the thoughts, feelings, and behavior are all connected. So if you have a negative thought, you tend to have very negative feelings, and then it's going to affect you to behave in ways that are not so adaptive. You know, so then we look at how can we dispute, you know, those more irrational, you know, unhelpful thoughts, right? And then improve that to become something that's more like resilient, more positive, and then it changes that whole relationship. So that's kind of one of the ways that, you know, usually I would work with
Right, and do you approach younger patients differently as you would an adult patient?
Because sometimes, you know, with younger patients, there are whole of other issues, right? Sense of belonging. These are their formative years. Sense of belonging, sense of identity. You know, they are at that vulnerable stage where I want to feel belong to my friends, but I'm very different from my friends. You know, is it different?
Well, the principle of treatment for adult children pretty much the same, right? So we look at any need for medication or therapy altogether. But for the children, I tend not to want to go with medication as much as possible, and we look at actually increasing the self-confidence, self-esteem of the child. Improving the relationship that the child has with the other people, you know, with friends, with family, and very importantly, we work with the parents. We need to we need the support, right?
I think for me in my work, sometimes if I have to go to the school to meet the teachers or meet with the school counselors, you know, I would go, or if any caregivers, basically the mom, the dad, you know, or even uncle, auntie, grandparents, you know, if they're willing to be part of my treatment plan to support the child, you know, to practice the homework, you know, I'll include them, you know, as much as I can. So usually, I think for kids, I think the treatment approach is still the same, but that we include other people, you know, to strengthen the progress.
We have a question right here from one of our viewers. Dear doctors, just wondering, how long can we expect treatment to last? Around how many months or years for mild anxiety depressive disorder?
I know I get this question a lot. I'm sure Dr. Lee as well. And I always tell my patient, you know, it depends on how brave you are. And they all look at me like, what? And I said, because sometimes when we start working together, things are going to get very tough. It's going to get very tricky. And it depends on how much you want to push through. Sometimes people would come for a while and they get like, oh, okay, I need to take a break, and then they're going to come back 3 months later. Or I have folks who, you know, they would come every single week, and then you see changes every single time. Within 3 months, they are doing much better, and I only see them like once every 6 months. You know.
Yeah, so but of course, if when medications are involved, there is a treatment schedule, of course. So we are generally looking at between half a year to 1 year, and the person got to be committed to it, because for the treatment to work, got to be committed to taking the medication every day.
And you know, this is something that Alyssa and I will talk about, and earlier on also we talked about the approach to treatment, to therapy. You know. And we spoke about this earlier on, right, Dr. Chua, where you know, other parts of the world, you know, therapy is okay. You know, it's part of just recalibrating yourself, getting on with life. You know, it's just like, you know, you mentioned earlier on, if you have a flu, you go to the doctor. If you have a flu of the mood, you see a psychologist. You know, you talk about it. That perception towards therapy, do we need to destigmatize it? Because here in Asia, or at least in Singapore, you know, people go like, are you sure you want to say therapy? No need lah.
Yeah, because to them, it's suddenly, they think of IMH, and then there's a very negative stigma, right? Negative thing attached to it.
Any comments on that, Dr. Chua or Dr. Lee?
Well, this stigma is deep-seated. We have to acknowledge that. But I think as we part of our work, being clinicians, we treat people, but we actually go out to educate too.
Yeah.
We go to companies and businesses, and even to
here,
in the media to educate, and we want people to know that having a mental illness, like you said, is having just a flu of the mood and something else. And you shouldn't be afraid to come forward for treatment. We are not scary people. We are really someone whom you can just easily talk to.
And I think sometimes it's very hard to go into, say, to see a psychiatrist or to see a psychologist. I think it's because of just some of the cultural attitudes that we have in Asia. You know, for example, like, you know, the Confucius teaching, like, you know, you don't air your dirty laundry, you know, or you don't rock the boat, basically. You know, you just tough it out, do this by yourself. You know, because if you show weakness, that's really bad. You know, that's really bad. So I think that's why sometimes people don't want to come in. You know,
So it's important that, you know, if you feel that you need help, just step up, right? And it's nothing to be ashamed of. And if you do know of somebody who needs help, you know, don't be afraid to help as well. Moving on, of course, you know, there have been articles. There was an article also published, right, regarding how parents should be careful because there are videos online.
Basically, suicide tips.
Suicide tips, right?
And they are disguised as videos for children or game videos. You know, kids love to watch Minecraft videos.
So parents should also be careful, right, with kids consuming online materials like that. But of course, social media can also be used positively. For example, the Suicide Prevention Agency Samaritans of Singapore, SOS, started an Instagram campaign last September called Through the Night.
So this one aims to encourage people to send messages of hope to those who are feeling low between the hours of midnight and 3 a.m. because usually that's when everyone's sleeping. They feel like, oh, there's no one I can speak to.
Feel very lonely.
Very lonely. Hopefully when they go to that, they can see messages.
Right. So once again, thank you so much, Dr. Lee, Dr. Chua, for spending this evening with us right here at our newsroom. And again, the message that we want to drive home is, if you know somebody who need help, don't be afraid, don't be shy, seek help.
Yes.
Right. And of course, these are the helplines that you can reach out to.
Thank you so much
if you
again,
need help. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the helplines here. So those are the numbers, and also if you want a confidential mental health check, you can go to this website. We have the website link here below. It's for those between the ages of 16 and 30.
Now, if you know someone who does not wish to seek help, you may ask that person's consent to be referred to SOS. You can call the 24-hour SOS hotline or email them as well.
And when you know someone who is in immediate danger due to some distress, please call 995 for an ambulance, or please accompany the individual to the A&E department of the nearest hospital.
Right. Again, here at Hangout with the ST, we want to say that, you know, if you know of anyone who need help, please, you know, reach out to somebody. And for those of you who have friends or family members, you know, do provide a listening ear, because sometimes that's what they all need.
Because you know why? If you accept happy emotions, you should also accept negative emotions and angry emotions as well.
Right. All right, moving on. Now, Alyssa, you know, recently a 19-year-old who blogged about her graduation trip got flagged for it, mainly because people felt she was complaining.
Well, to be fair, student Audrey Chong shared on youth.sg that her holiday with her friends wasn't what she expected, and I quote, she said it wasn't all rainbows and butterflies or rainbows and sparkles.
Now she had to deal with worried parents, gathering enough money, making sure friends won't bail, Google Maps messing up, arguing with her travel buddies over sharing one portable Wi-Fi router.
And then the cherry on top is that she had to wake up early for Japan's notoriously punctual trains.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
I mean, why does the world have to run on schedule, right? Why can't the train just run as and when it wants to run?
Okay, so the thing is, of course, they are all legit concerns.
Yes.
Right?
They are.
But maybe it's a bit too much to advise people to not go for grad trips.
Exactly, right? Because why would you hold people back from the lovely experience of traveling with friends, you know?
Exactly.
Okay, to be fair, okay, Audrey, I don't want to poke fun at you.
Yep.
I know I have, I'm sorry.
Yep.
But the thing is, okay, you know what? The things that you talked about, honestly, I have complained about them too.
Yep.
I have. And you know, I'm nearing 30 and I'm still complaining about these sort of things.
Exactly.
I understand.
Now, a lot of people, of course, were attacking her. Someone was nice enough to address her concerns. And we have this screenshot of young Paul, right?
Yeah.
And I think number 4, you said number 4 was the best, right?
That's my favorite point. So he says save money or time, or save time. So this is, I think, it's in regards to the portable Wi-Fi router. In any case, you know, it makes a lot of sense because money is time.
Exactly. But you know what we feel is the bigger concern right here is youth.sg.
I mean, as a youth organization platform, maybe you could have edited Audrey's post instead of making her sound so silly, and then now she's like just hung out to dry, and then all your defense is that, you know what, don't attack her personally. I mean, I saw the comment. I think more can be done.
Don't be sorry.
Be better. I mean, it's not very nice. I mean, you would know how she's going to be perceived, right? Can't be you weren't expecting this
one
sort
part, of course, not to classify under social issues.
Because it's not a social issue. And I think she got a lot of flack for that because it came under social issues.
Right?
But I mean, I don't think she said that it was a social issue.
Yeah. But whatever it is, you know, let us know, for those of you who have just who are watching us, what was your, whether you have any first solo trip, right? Would you tell somebody who's going to travel solo for the first time, what would you tell them? Have you been to a solo trip?
I have been on a solo trip, grad trip. Yes, I've done those. Solo trip, I would just say, just prepare everything ahead of time. You can never be over-prepared.
True.
I'll say that.
That's true.
And
that's
for
true.
you?
I've been on a uni grad trip before with 3 other guy friends, so there were 4 of us. You know, up till today, right, I feel that was one of the best trips I've had. Really. Yeah, like because maybe we're all guys, right? So it's easier,
because no girls so much more easier. Is that what I say? No need to wait for them to do their hair, do makeup.
Exactly, but it was one of the best times, you know, really. Unfortunately though, the 4 of us, we don't really quite hang out and talk anymore lah.
But it was a good trip nonetheless.
Yeah, that trip was like the last trip, and then that's it, you know, like our friendship just
dissolved.
Yeah, stand still.
But you know, in any case, you have that wonderful memory.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the thing, like, even if a trip is never going to be 100% perfect, right?
Yeah.
But even then, you know, you can look back at it, reminisce, have a good time. Okay, for example, recently I went to Japan with my whole family, and then we were actually pulled over by the Japanese police because we didn't stop at the stop line.
Right.
Oops, sorry. Okay, and then anyway, they let us go, and then we had to go park the car, right? Because we wanted to go somewhere else. Then we were going to turn right into what we thought was a car park. Then suddenly over the loud hailer, I was like, don't turn, go straight. And, oh, okay, turn left, okay, turn left. And then this was over the loud hailer system, so the whole town
could hear you guys.
know that this car is full of foreigners who don't know how to drive.
My goodness.
But it's funny.
But I thought the Japanese are always very polite.
They weren't being mean, they were polite, they just weren't like...
They were firm.
They were firm, but I mean, then again, we did break the traffic rule, right? So
true lah, true. But hey, you know, let us know, right? What was your grad trip like? Whether you had a grad trip, solo trip, you know, how was it like? Let's see whether we can take any comments. Okay, we have people saying, Pio says thanks for sharing. I think it's about our suicide prevention.
Right.
Kai Gui, think it's time Asian look at treatment for depression like any other treatment for the common cold. Agree.
And then Poi Matu says we need to remove the stigma associated with depression.
And Noraline says thank you for this topic, Hangout with the ST. Thank you for tuning in. And of course, moving on to our next segment, other news in a minute. Onyam.
In under 1 minute, we will crunch down other headlines of the week.
The police warn of a new scam targeting bank customers here. A person impersonating bank staff would call using a spoofed phone number resembling the bank's personal banking hotline. Members of the public are advised to be wary of such unsolicited calls and advised against disclosing personal details to anyone over phone, email or texts.
And for our second headline, if you're wondering about that smoky smell you've been smelling over the recent past days, it's likely due to a fire in southern Johor. So this is according to the National Environment Agency. A second hotspot was detected there on Tuesday. So the pollution index, standard index in Singapore so far has been in a good to moderate range. So please keep calm and carry on.
Our third piece of news, Changi General Hospital was found guilty of negligence that delayed the cancer diagnosis of a patient, diagnosing the patient's lung cancer only after it had spread to a lymph node. The patient, Ms. Nur Azlin Abdul Rahman, is now fighting stage 4 cancer that has progressed to her brain. That is all we have for Onyam this week. Okay.
So ending this week's Hangout with ST on a light note, we have
Facebook Face-Off, which you won last week.
I've been up in the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's the power of the horse.
It is.
But no, this week, Judge Joe is back. Maybe the scale will be tipped to my side.
Okay.
Alright, so with that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please put your hands together to welcome Judge Joe!
Okay, Judge Joe will be a bit, yay, it's back! The blonde hair is back. Nice, nice.
It's been a while. Oh, Judge Joe hasn't seen our tables. Now, Judge Joe, we have tables.
We got
have
two,
drinks,
you know? We got two tables. Yay!
You want a drink?
That actually does have water in there.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Not bad, huh?
Okay, so moving on, because I'm actually getting quite hungry now.
Okay, so this is how it's going to work. Each of us, we have trawled through our Straight Science Facebook page to find the most dunnest and wittiest comment that you guys have posted, and we've screenshot them. If you think that Alyssa's joke is funny, you type in A.
If you think Hairianto's one is funnier, type in H.
And if you think that you miss Judge Joe and you want to vote for Judge Joe, you type in J.
Okay.
So I will go first.
Yes, please.
This is about the 6 army medics lauded for coming to aid of road accident victim in Mandai Road. Okay, so 6 soldiers, basically they were given the award lah, And then Ronald Hawk says, let's make a Boys to Men movie based on the SAF Medical Corps.
Actually, why is that funny? Oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. Okay, so I can feel my stomach is gonna grr. Okay, right. Okay, so the one I chose is, so Samsung has the new Galaxy Fold, the phone that is foldable. Huawei also has it.
Huawei or Huawei?
Oh yeah. Sorry, Huawei.
Then after you ask for sponsor, then you say Huawei. Ayo, how like that?
Okay, anyway, the real joke here is, so Jasmine Lim says, oh, now waiting for iPhone.
I think your first joke, but yeah,
I think so too.
Okay, if you think that Mrs. Joe is funny, you type in A.
If you think Hairianto's one is funny, type in H.
But if you think that Judge Joe's reaction is the funniest, you type in J. Okay, Alyssa, moving along.
So round 2, I forgot because I didn't know the Judge Joe was coming on. So this is a picture, but he can't see. So, okay, I'll describe to you. So it's the Trump-Kim Summit one, and then his bodyguards are standing at the door. You can see how you live here. Okay, you saw. Okay, so the comment here that I thought is super funny is by Ruben Tan. So Ruben Tan's like, okay, weird flex, but okay.
I don't understand. What weird flex, but okay.
Because who stands at the car like that, with the door open and then stand there when it's moving. And the car is moving.
Okay,
so
my joke. This is about the chubby rat stuck in manhole cover and freed by German rescuers becomes latest internet sensation, right? Ho Wan Fong says, report to Tom for freeing this Jerry. You know Tom and Jerry? If you think that Alyssa is funny, you type in A.
If you thought Hairianto was funny, type in H.
If you think that Judge Joe is funniest, type in J. Okay, my one. Okay,
final one.
Okay, this is about the story on husband mishears wife's romantic request, gets her turnips instead of tulips, right? And
this is okay.
But I have to say though, props given to our social media guys. That says, darling, you look redishing tonight. What? Okay, anyway, that's not the joke. Okay, the joke is, Gabriel Sim says, the husband also damn Kailan. Andy Lee says,
what is this three-parter joke?
Carrots instead of carrots, you know?
This is...
Keith Tan, last one. Straits Thyme, but T-H-Y-M-E. What value does this news bring to readers? But it's Straits Thyme, you know that time?
Can't you say that this is already unfair because this is like a three-parter joke?
okay.
It's a 3-part.
Because it's hard work put in. Okay, go. Alyssa,
Fine. Okay. So the one I chose is Australian passenger finds a tooth-like object in the flight meal. So Singapore Airlines is investigating, right? Oh, this is the same guy, Ruben Tan. Okay, so Ruben Tan, Ruben, you and I, we have this affinity. I think our humor is the same. So Ruben Tan says this is too much. Right.
Yeah, if you think that Alyssa is funny, you type in A.
If you know Hairianto is funny, type in H.
If you think that Jojo is the funniest, you type in J.
Type in J.
Okay, we give you some time. I think we can read some comments. We have some comments. We have Kai Ling that says hello.
Oh, hello, Kai.
Finally, Kai. You are online. Hello to you.
Yeah.
Kai Amri says, I'm a big believer. Wow, this is a very long quote. Okay, so basically it's about traveling lah. Anthony Bourdain or traveling. Yeah, it's a very long quote. I'm a big believer in winging it. Okay.
Okay, then move on lah.
Yeah, move on. Okay, Pio says, can smell it from Simi. I think that is about the haze.
Okay.
Kai Gui says, my road trip, my best bud, Wei Chiang Siu, when we 19 was super. Imagine running after a real train in order not to be stranded, getting to know a Dutch guy on the overnight train, teaching each other vulgarities in our respective language, befriending the Thai police on the train and sharing a smoke, and finally almost got not being able to get back home because we nearly finished all our money.
So this belongs to like things you won't tell your mother lah.
Correct.
Basically.
Correct. Okay, I think we can count down lah.
I think we can count down.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The winner is?
Oh. Yay!
This is the first time somebody has won 4 times in a row, you know, actually. Okay, 5 seconds, say a speech now. 5.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for believing in me, and thank you, Ruben Tan. You helped me win today. Thank you so much.
Okay, well done! My goodness, but thank you so much guys for tuning in. You know, for more news and videos, do log on to straitstimes.com.
We're also on social media, Instagram, Twitter and YouTube.
Correct. So tune in to us next week again, 8 PM, same timing, on Straits Times Facebook page. Once again, she is Alyssa.
And he is Hairianto.
And this is Judge Joe. Goodbye and see you next week.